Night rides are so fun.
Are they really?
You make them look fun, but they look terrifying. They sound terrifying.
The most mellow of things feel so gnarly because you can't see outside of that 20-foot circle of yourself. That being said, you go ride spots where you're like confident of like snow conditions are good, you know, relatively close to cell service ish.
Yeah,
you know,
bro, I can barely ride in the daylight.
Yeah, you gotta trust.
I don't know if that
you gotta
sounds like
trust
a good
that
idea
your
at all.
buddies are like they're keen and they're down.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, it could be a ton of fun, and it doesn't have to be super gnarly what you're doing out there in the night, and it feels so rad.
Yeah, I bet.
You're in your own bubble. It's like I love that aspect. Even when I was competing, like I way rather jump and perform at night, where it's just like channel focuses into like a central area. My buddy Jamie and I tried to connect 2 zones together one time. Nikki's 8 months pregnant at home. We leave the house at like 1 o'clock. Like, oh yeah, we should be able to loop this out and be back by 4. We drop in this gnarly drainage. I mean, you guys hear me say gnarly and you're like, yeah, everything you do is gnarly. This was like, it put me on my, like the hairs on my neck were standing up and we were committed, you know, dropping bluffs and dodging willows and then into creeks and running water. Anyways, we're trying to connect these 2 zones. We got to go off of one mountain down to Valley Bottom and up the other one. And we got the descent. We got to the bottom, we high-fived and we're like, man, thank goodness we're not going to have to climb back out of that. And then we start ascending the other side, and it's about 3 o'clock at this point, and we just get waterfalled out. There's no way we're getting up the next face. And we're like, man, this is gonna suck. And so we come back onto our tracks and have to navigate this like just pretty insane sort of boulder field, and it's low snow conditions, and it's starting to get dark. Jamie doesn't have a headlamp. I do. He has a headlight delete kit on his sled because he wanted like lightweight, you know?
Yeah,
save that pound.
I was on a Speedworks supercharger. Anyway, from 4 o'clock till midnight, we spent trying to get back up our down track. Nikki's at home freaking out at 8 months pregnant, and she knows better to not call the search and rescue. She calls the neighbors around our area and be like, Brett and Jamie dove into this drainage and they're trying to connect these zones. You guys mind going to find them?
Why not call search and rescue?
I mean, the search and rescue was just not that skilled at that point to get to where Jamie and I were. And she knew that our neighbors were.
Yeah, talented riders.
And so they drop into the drainage at about 1 o'clock. And they drop... AM. They drop in our tracks, but instead of riding in, they hike down because it's terrifyingly steep and scary. They go all the way to the valley bottom. And as Jamie and I are like working our way through, we do this like half circle around each other. So like we're going up and those guys are hiking down, but they didn't have radio contact or anything to us. They didn't know what channel we were on.
They heard you.
They could hear us,
but
and they like ended up below us, you know? And so then we get out the drainage and we get up to where their sleds are and we start lighting a fire. And at like 2:30 in the morning, we just hear them trudging up the hill. And one dude is so beat, he's lifting his legs with his hands to get his feet up out of the snow.
Oh.
So that was kind of like the start of the love of the night ride.
It's like that one time I got stuck down there. That's when it became fun for me.
I've never had an overnight experience. That was the closest that I've ever been. But I was like, I feel like there was a little seed planted there where it was like, this is actually kind of pretty cool.
You've never done it overnight?
No, I've never.
I'm surprised by
never
that.
done an overnight. I've been like looking to do some intentional overnights,
Yeah.
like go up late, like super late, stay in the cabin, and then get up for sunrise and go ride.
Oh, that's cool.
Or go up late and ride through the night and stay in a cabin and wake up in the morning. You know,
That's pretty rad.
There's lots of cool different ways I've been.
That's sick.